Welcome to Tithe Lies, the place where you can get the biblical truth about tithes and offerings. My brothers and sisters, I am rebooting some of my old content, putting all of my tithing videos onto one channel. So some of this stuff is old. So grade me on the curve for the technology, okay? But the content is still on point.
Hi, I'm Eric Hill, and I've written the book, What Preachers Never Tell You About Tithes and Offerings, the End of Clergy Manipulation and Extortion. Today's topic is part 2 in what Malachi really teaches about tithes. I'm going to give you a quick survey of the wickedness of the priests in the book of Malachi, because that entire book is not about the average Jew not paying tithes, but it's about the general wickedness of the priesthood of Aaron and how they were totally base in their attitude towards God, and they were generally wicked. And there are a few things in particular, a few sins that stand out. One of which was that they were stealing tithes. Now, I want to preface this by reading from Numbers, the 18th chapter, 2nd and 3rd verse, okay? Also, bring with you your brethren of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of your father, that they may be joined with you and serve you while you and your sons are with you before the tabernacle of witness, talking about the Old Testament. They shall attend to your needs and all the needs of the tabernacle, but they shall not come near the articles of the sanctuary and the altar, lest they die, they and you also. Now here's the point. You could only be from the lineage of Aaron. You had to be of the Aaronic priesthood in order to minister on that altar. You couldn't be just a regular priest, okay, the Levite. You had to be of the lineage of Aaron. It was a special privilege. They're the only ones that could qualify to be on that altar. The reason why I tell you this is because in this quick survey of Malachi, I'm going to go over several scriptures because I want you to get an overall view of the book. I want you to see that the book of Malachi is not about the average Jew. It's about stealing preachers. It's about preachers who are tired of serving God on that bloody altar. Now, let's start. First chapter. Listen to what God says about the priests. 6th verse. A son honors his father, and a servant his master. If then I am the father, where is my honor? And if I am a master, where is my reverence? Says the Lord of hosts. To you priests who despise my name. Yet you say, in what way have we despised your name? 7th verse. You offer defiled food on my altar. These were the tithes, because tithes is food. It's our food. Is it our food or is food? It's food. You offer defiled food on my altar.
If the modern financial tithe system is of God, it should pass the test of light. I'm looking for people to interview to tell me about their experience tithing. Has it been a blessing or has it been a curse? Drop me a line at tithelies@yahoo.com.
But you say, in what way have we defiled you? By saying the table of the Lord is contemptible. That means we're tired of serving God in this altar business. We're just tired of it. What's the use? 8th verse. And when you offer the blind as a sacrifice, is it not evil? And when you offer the lame and the sick, is it not evil? Offer it then to your governor. Would he be pleased with you? Would he accept you favorably? Says the Lord. Okay, now those are accusations against the priest. They're offering beat up offerings to the Lord, beat up tithes to the Lord. Now, 10th verse. Who is there even among you who would shut the doors, so that you would not kindle fire on my altar in vain? See, these are people on the altar. Now again, who are those that are qualified to minister on the altar without being killed? It's only the priests of Aaron. We're not talking about regular synagogue goers, and we know there weren't synagogues yet. We're not talking about regular Jews. Listen to what God says to these priests. I have no pleasure in you, says the Lord of hosts, nor will I accept an offering from your hands. That's what God is saying to the priests. Go down to the 12th verse. But you profane it, speaking about the offering, the ministry. But you profane it in that you say the table of the Lord is defiled, and its food is contemptible. You also say, oh, what a weariness. You sneer at it, says the Lord of hosts. And you bring the stolen, the lame, and the sick. Thus you bring an offering? Should I accept this from your hand? Now listen, 13th verse. God says, you're bringing stolen food to me, stolen offerings. Remember, I told you that these guys were tired of the ministry of the Lord. They were fed up with this altar ministry. And they said, it doesn't benefit us. So you know what? Somehow or another, they got a scheme. Let's just give God the bad animals. When we're given good animals from the Levites, when they pay us the tithe of their tithe that they receive from the general population, let's give God our cross-eyed animals, our animals that are crippled, the ones with the bent back ear. Let's give God the bad stuff. We'll keep the good stuff for ourselves. That way we can profit from the ministry. 14th verse. Here's God saying, but cursed be the deceiver who has in his flock a male and takes a vow, but sacrifices to the Lord what is blemished. For I am a great king, says the Lord of hosts, and my name is to be feared among the nations. Now, notice this. God is not talking about missing tithes in the sense that tithes were not being offered. God's contention is that these people are thieves and hypocrites. First of all, their hearts are wrong. They're fed up with serving God. They're approaching the altar of God, and they're approaching the altar with stolen goods. Now, later on, we'll talk about where some of these stolen goods came from. Okay? We know that some of the goods came from offerings that were given to them, but there's also some circumstantial evidence in another book in the Bible, Nehemiah, that talks about these the regular Levites having their property stolen. I think we know who stole their property. Anyway, let's stop right here, and then we'll start again and kind of further develop this theme of these preachers who were stealing offerings and offering God all of the bad stuff. Just a little something to make you think.